climbed to the top of the mountain, but just as I was about to head back down, I found my car door blocked by another vehicle. A man got out and asked if I needed help. He was holding an umbrella. Suddenly, he knocked me out cold. Then, he tied me up. When I woke up, I found myself completely immobilized. I tried to use my watch to call the police, but there was no signal here. I didn't understand why he had kidnapped me, but at that moment, I only had one thought: escape. I had brought a knife with me when I left. I carefully took it out, seizing the moment to cut through the ropes. I sprang up and lunged at him. The blade struck him, but it didn't cause a fatal injury. He glanced at his watch. He had already injected me with a paralytic, and by 20 minutes, lose all mobility. Hearing this, I was even more terrified. I ran with all my strength, but it wasn't long before my fingers began to numb. Richard was closing in. I had to escape the woods within 20 minutes. One of my legs had completely lost feeling. Richard was getting closer, so I hid in a tree hollow. But then, thousands of ants swarmed out and began to feast on my wounds. I couldn't bear the pain and finally screamed out loud, but I didn't give up. I dragged my heavy body, slowly rolling into the river. Richard could only watch as I disappeared into the water. I floated along the current, holding my breath, unsure how much time had passed, until I was finally washed up on the shore. However, my breathing grew more and more difficult, and the 20-minute mark was approaching, my body completely losing control. The old man rushed over, asking about my condition, but I couldn't respond. When he turned me over, he noticed something strange. Though I was motionless and unable to speak, my mind was still clear, and I could still blink normally. I could only respond in this way, and the old man realized I was in danger, so he moved me in a small cart to a nearby cabin. Just as the old man was about to investigate further, suddenly, there was a sharp knock on the door. The old man grew alert, unsure whether the man's story was true, but just as he was about to call the police, Richard barged in.